Wow, it is good to be back here, Vicky. I'm excited for another episode today. If you are joining us live, welcome to today's podcast where we talk about how to win government contracts. And if you are watching this on replay, again, welcome to the replay here. So we are going live on the different social platforms, and we are recording for future references. If you are watching this here at a future point of time. This episode and this podcast here is really about helping small businesses go and win government contracts. And we cover different topics. But the way we're doing this here is a little bit different than just talking about theories and strategies and concept. We take things here from a very practical perspective. How do you really do this here in a real world environment? And to achieve this here for this podcast here, we have Vicky, and she is the entrepreneur in residence with us here. And so we talk about her business and we guide her through what she needs to build and implement and put in her company so that she can be procurement ready, and then how to practically go out there and submit bid and win contracts. So with that, I want to introduce Vicky. So Vicky, you want to take about a maybe 1 minute reviews. The returning guests, they know who you are, but for some of the new guests here, can you tell them a little about you and your company, and then we'll go into today's topic.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Vicki Bang. I am the owner of Alpha Professional Services. We are a consulting business, and up to this point, we've actually finished the logo, capability statement, business card, the branding, and this past week I've had the opportunity to finish or do as much as I can on the website. So hopefully we'll be able to go into that today.
Okay. All right. Well, we've been talking about Vicky's company, getting her procurement ready, talking about her brand, her logo, all that stuff, infrastructure. Because if you're going to go and win big projects, you have to look like you can handle big projects. So that's what we've been working on. And so today we're going to be talking a little bit about her website, giving her some feedback, some comments on there. We're also going to be talking about a project that she is actually interested on bidding on, and so we'll talk a little about that there. Even though she is closer to being ready, but she's a smart lady, so she decided to bring on a teaming partner. So we'll talk a little about that, and then we're talking about how to build a board of advisor, because many of you are solopreneurs. As a small business, you have a small company, and often you are a solopreneur. So we're going to talk about how do you create a larger than life company even though you're a solopreneur. So we'll talk about that as well today. I'm going to go ahead and at this point here share my screen, and we're going to go into the content for the day here. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. All right, Vicky, can you see my screen okay? And all of you joining us.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, perfect. So let's do a little bit of review here. So we've been talking about your website for a little bit. We'll come back to that in a second. We talked about creating a list of potential teaming partners, because that's part of how you look stronger than who you really are. But let me knock out the easy stuff. So you came up with a trademark, and what is your trademark? I think your vision statement or your tagline. Yeah, I think it's up here, right?
That is correct. The tagline we went with.
What was that? I need. I see the logos, but I don't. Where's your tagline that we came up with? I think it's in your vision statement. Is it? Yeah, it's right here.
Yes, it is.
All right, Vicky, what's up? You don't remember your own tagline? Okay.
I
All right.
do.
You do?
And I was actually looking at that yesterday. um, uh, it's igniting limitless possibility.
Yes. So we've decided to shorten it.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Igniting limitless
And I haven't
possibilities.
updated that one.
Okay. And
Yes.
then your mission, we shortened that too. So what's your mission? Catalyzing breakthroughs. Is that it?
No, it was only 2 words.
Catalyzing breakthroughs, right?
My mission statement is yes.
Catalyzing breakthroughs. Okay. All right. So I'm not convinced that you're in love with your mission statement. So uh, you got to be the one that is really passionate about your mission, and you have to memorize it and know it. And I shared this here previously that if you don't know your own mission statement, nobody else will remember it. So, and that's true for all of you too. If as you're developing your mission and your vision and all these different things, there, it has to be personal to you. And then keep it simple so that you'll remember it. And so I'm Vicky's on the hot seat because she's the entrepreneur that we're coaching and guiding her through her business. So she's supposed to be on the hot seat, but that's what we've come up with. So I'm going to take this here. I'm going to put it on a smart sheet so we can track it here. So our vision is um, igniting limitless,
Igniting
right? Igniting
possibilities.
limitless possibility, or was it just igniting possibilities? Was it 3 words or 2 words?
Igniting limitless possibilities. 3 words.
Okay. All right, and then the other is catalyzing breakthroughs. So let me
Breakthroughs.
take. Yep. But I love it. I mean, these are awesome vision statements. And then one of the homework assignment was to check the trademark office, USPTO. Were you able to check to make sure that these here you can use?
I did the igniting limitless possibilities. I haven't finished the catalyzing because there's a lot of them.
Okay. And if you're joining us, watch the video from, or the replay from last week, because we talked about the details of how she got to this here. And so if you want to learn how to develop your own vision, mission statement for your business, watch the replay. But this is good. I love these two here. I think these are winners. So let's go to getting your sales tax ID number. Now, if you are selling services, offering services, you do not need a sales tax ID number. If you are selling products, you need a sales tax ID number. Here's the reason why you need a sales tax ID number. Your sales tax ID number is, let's assume that you decide to sell Ingram Micro, right? And so you go to Ingram Micro and you say, hey, you know what? I'm going to sell, they have a lot of products. Ingram Micro sells routers, switches, computers, laptops. They sell a whole bunch of, they're a aggregator of a lot of manufacturers. And then you come in here, you go and set up and you become a partner with them so that you can, instead of you going to set up a partnership with Dell, with Apple computers, well, I don't know. I don't think Apple is part of Ingram, but Dell and, Lenovo and all your major, most of your major manufacturers of technology content is in here. And they do a lot of different products. So if you're going to go and resell their products without a sales tax ID number, one is they might not even allow you to set up a partnership with them. For those that do allow you to set up a partnership with them, what they're going to ask is they're going to ask you for your sales tax ID number. If you don't have one, then they have to charge you sales tax. And so, do you know the sales tax in Minnesota? 6.7%.
I am not positive. Oh, okay.
Yep. So, and local is 7.949. So that means that they have to, if you're buying a laptop for 1,000, that means you have to pay 6% on that there. So you're going to pay about $68 on top of it. So that means it hurts your profit margin. You have to sell it higher, and it doesn't make sense. So in the situation, by having a sales tax ID number, then you don't have to pay the 6.8% of. And then when you sell to the government, guess what? The government doesn't pay taxes, so you don't actually have to collect taxes. And so for the state of Minnesota, you're reporting to them as zero taxes that you've collected. And so every month, now that you have your sales tax ID number, most Department of Revenue, they want you to file a monthly report saying that you made $200 or you have zero sales, and it only pertains to products that you sold and you collect taxes on. If you're selling to the government, you buy it wholesale, so you don't pay taxes. You're selling to a government agency, they don't pay taxes. So now you report as zero tax that's going to be collected by the state. So that's the purpose of your sales tax. It saves you money by having this here. If you, all of you who's watching this here, in the chat, if you are a product-driven company, let me know if you've got your sales tax ID number. If you don't, I highly recommend, or it's a necessity, to go and get your sales tax ID number here. So with that, let's go into this week here. Vicky, are you ready to share your screen on your website so that we can review your website? I know it's not 100% done, but let's talk it through so that you can keep improving on it. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and go ahead and share your screen, Vicky. And while Vicky is pulling that up, we're going to be, in a few minutes, we're going to be talking about how to build a board of advisors. And your board of advisors is going to be very important because you want your company to look larger than what it really is. So after we review her website, we're going to be talking about how do you build a board of advisors so that you can get help, but so that you can, as a small company, you may only have 1 or 2 people, or you may just be a solopreneur. So how do you create an optics of looking stronger than you really are? So we'll be covering that in a second here. All right, so Vicky, you sharing your screen?
Give me 2 seconds here.
If you are joining us, is your website ready? Is it procurement ready? And that's what we've been looking at Vicky's website here, getting her website to be procurement ready. And there's certain things that you need to have on your website because you're selling to the government market. They speak governese, and you have to speak in a language that they understand. You have to speak in a language that they're going to say, I trust this website. I trust this website, and I trust this company. Trust starts from how they see you, what they see you at the very beginning. So you want to create trust, and you create trust by actually giving them a certain perspective of who you are. And as a small business, you have to give them the perspective that you're a lot stronger than you are. So Carlos says you have one, but it's not ready. So yes, we're going to look at Vicky's website, and then I may look at an example of another website that is procurement ready, so that you guys can kind of see what goes into a website. It's not just the traditional website. There's a lot of components of a traditional website, but there's also a lot of other components that you will need to add to your website itself. So, how's it coming, Vicky? You got up? You still pulling it
My
up?
computer's a little slow. Still pulling it up.
Okay. So while it's being pulled up, I'm going to share everybody what a procurement ready website looks like, and then we'll come back and as you're pulling it up, go ahead and queue it up so that we can look at it in a second. So I'm gonna start by showing everybody what it should look like, and then so in our software, we use the GovGenie or Gov Fast Track software to kind of teach and train people. So it falls under um, promotion, and under promotion, there's image, right? We've been talking about capability statement, but this week we're talking about capability website. And what you need to have on there is you need to have a government friendly tab. And in your government friendly tab, there's certain things that you need to have in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at some of the websites that sample website. And so we have some sample websites in here. I'll put this here in the chat area. So if you're watching us here and you say, "Hey, Abe, how do I build my website so that it can be procurement ready?" So I'm putting in the chat. Look at some of these websites here. I'm going to start off with a very simple website. So this company here is Arcola Global, and we'll go through his website quickly. This is a one-man operation. He is building his company so that he is actually doing international work, consulting work right now in Saudi Arabia, and then he's going to be coming back to the States. And so when he comes back to the States, he's going to start a government contracting business. But instead of waiting until he's done with his contract work overseas, he's building his business now. So by the time he comes back, his company is ready to go. So very strategic thinking here. So this is a very, very great basic 5-page website. So your first goal is when you're building a website, you don't have to build all 20 pages. Start out with 5 pages, get it procurement ready, and then slowly add more pages. So this is the starting point here. So if you look at his website, at the very top, he has a home, services, government, about, and contact. The most basic 5-page website you're going to have. But if you don't have a website, you're not procurement ready. So at a minimum, have a 5-page website. So if you come in here, you can see on the homepage, talks about his company, his logo. He goes and talks a little bit about Arcola Global is a small business delivering big IT solutions for government agencies and commercial clients. I love this here because I actually wrote this here for him. He was in our coaching program, so help him do some of the basic things like that there. But the name Arcola Global makes him look bigger than normal. Arcola is actually a small little city in Florida. Some of you guys may know it. It's a small little city in Florida. He grew up there, and so he decided to name his company Arcola Global. And so now he's got, a little bit of his, he goes into cybersecurity, he goes into cloud solutions, IT infrastructure, and then talks about, hey, teaming, we want to team with you. And then he put in here some comments of some statements about his performance, and then trust and reliable help is available. So that's the homepage, right? And then it goes into services, goes into all the different areas of support that he can do. But the government tab is really what we're talking about here, is getting your government tab ready. So if you come to his government tab, he's got his capability video. He's got a little bit information about what he's doing. He's got his UEI number in here, his NAICS codes, his core NAICS code, and then he goes into his tertiary NAICS code too. primary and secondary, and then his tertiary next goes here. And he's pending VOSB certification. He puts in some logos of his projects that he's been on before, and then download capability statement. So this is a basic website of what, if you're speaking to government buyers, what it should look like. And this is currently what he's at right here. And let me show you one other website, and then we'll go to Vicky. So this company here is, let me go with this company here, Soft Skills. So this is more of a HR training, executive coaching, soft skill training, leadership training. So if you come to the website, they go into a little bit what they do. There's, this is not the capability video, but this is more of an informational video here. Talks about their certification and, lots of different things about government in here. But there's a government tab, right? Again, the goal is to have a government tab. So if you click on the government tab, comes in here, it talks about she's a veteran-owned business, she's a women-owned. Her contact information is right here. Her UI is here, and then her next codes are here. And she even put her PSC codes, product service codes here, and her capability statement is here. So you can click on this here and download her capability statement. But that's really what you want to have on a website. And it's unique to every company, but these are the core essential things you want to have on your website. So Vicky, are you ready to share your website at this time?
Yes, I am.
So let's pull it up and let me give you some feedback. And part of this podcast here is we don't talk just theories. We talk about practical things that you as a business owner can implement specifically for your company. We want you to understand what to do, how to do it, and why you need to do it. So that's really what this podcast is all about, is getting your business ready. I do one-on-one coaching, and people pay a lot of money to be in my one-on-one coaching, but you guys get it for free as part of this podcast. And we do this here to add value to your journey in the government market. And Vicky just got very lucky. We chose her out of a lot of other companies to be part of this here. So it's very exciting that you guys get to see how Vicky is starting and how she is going to get to a point where her business is going to be bidding on projects. So one of the comment is, won't the capability statement change? If so, is it a good idea to put one on the web? The one that you put on the capability statement that you put on your website is what's called the generic capability statement. So that's a very good question. The capability statement is unique to every single project that you bid. If you're submitting a capability statement on a proposal or on a sources sought, that capability statement is designed specifically for that project or that agency. The capability statement that you're using on your website is the general capability statement, and it talks about the many things that you do, all your next code, and all these different things here. So that's the capability statement that you're going to be putting on there. All right, so Vicky, you got it queued up?
So it's on my screen, but StreamYard is actually new to me. So remember when I tried to share the other day, and it just had all these, I shared the entire screen.
Yeah.
And it had
share your screen again. I'll navigate you through it.
Okay.
Yeah, on the tab, because the StreamYard is a browser, and then on your tab, choose the tab that shows your website. On your browser tabs, there's multiple browser tabs. You have the StreamYard tab, and then you also have your website tab. And so choose that, and that screen will show up. Because you're on the Infinity.
Okay.
view right here. Okay, I see it. All right, so let's talk through.
You see
Uh,
it? Okay.
yep, I see it. So I see you got home, service, government, about, and contact. So you're starting with the five basic
So I got
pages.
a chat.
Hmm. Okay, you set up a chat. That's awesome.
Sorry, am I going too fast?
You're good. The first thing is I would remove your logo as the what they see here. And let me tell you why.
Okay.
Having your logo here doesn't add value to people. Your logo is already on the top. You want to have an image that connects with people. And so the first thing they see should be an image of people, maybe uh, an image of customers that looks like your customers, an image of the audience that you're trying to reach. So it could be government people, it could be commercial clients, or it could be a setting. You do administrative management, you do professional services. So you want to have an image of you or of people that fits into the setting that you are trying to do. Now, who is your website platform here? Are you building this here on GoDaddy, on Wix, on?
Um, it is on GoDaddy.
Okay, yeah,
I are taken something from the photo gallery and put it up there.
okay. All right, so GoDaddy is not my
So
favorite.
this is actually at the bottom of the page.
Okay, so yep, I see that. So you got some photo galleries. There is actually a way to do this here so that your site looks um, yeah, so photo gallery is one way of how you reposition everything, but is this on the bottom of the homepage for the photo gallery?
It is on the bottom of the home page, correct?
Okay, all right. So the first
And so
thing.
this is the home page.
Mhm, yeah, so if you're going to, this is I will remove the logo, this red banner, and put an image here, or you what's called a slider. You can put a slider, almost like a photo, what you have at the bottom, but it's more of it's a larger. It's called a slider. I'm pretty sure that GoDaddy has a slider, so you
Hmm.
can put a slider there and put multiple images, and it will start scrolling different images. So that keeps your website looks like it's fresh, so that you're not just static a little bit there. And click on your government tab. Let's look at your government tab. This is the key page, right? Because you're trying to speak to government buyers, and so um, when they come here, this is really what they want to see. Okay. Again, the first thing I want people to see is an image. That's the adage says that image is worth 1,000 words. So I put the image on the very top. When they come to the page, they see the image first before they see text. We're not drawn to text, right? And nowadays, people access your website, people access the internet more from a cell phone or a tablet, more so even from a computer or a desktop or a laptop. So having an image makes it easier on a mobile device because it's image driven. Um, so that would be my suggestion in terms of the front itself. And then, do
Okay.
you have your capability statement in here right now?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I see you got a placeholder for the video. Um, so you're using the podcast with you as the placeholder for now. That's good. And then your capability statement is here, which is awesome. Um, okay, and then you actually put an image down here. Okay, so this is a good start to your website. There's still a lot of improvement to be done. Um, And I have a lot more feedback for you on this, sir, but because of time, I'm not going to go to all the little details that needs to be adjusted on your website. But it's a good start on your website, and we'll keep making improvements on it. So with that, let me go ahead and share my screen, and then we're going to continue with how do you build a organization that looks larger than real life. And so now we're going to talk about building your board of advisors. And so in our software here, the I've already put in here the content of what you need to do. And so I'm just going to queue it up, and I'm going to hit search advisors, create your board of advisors, your board of directors, and I'm going to take us there. So in your board of advisors, let me talk about your board of advisors. There is a difference between your board of directors and your board of advisors. Now, if you are LLC, you don't have board of directors. You have what's called member directors, or you have member managers. So you're LLC, so you will not have board of directors. A S corp or a C corp is they will have a board of directors. You as an LLC, you can choose two terminology: managing members, or member directors, which is equivalent to a board of directors. What I'm about to talk about, I'm not talking about your board of directors or your managing members. I'm talking about your board of directors, your or your board of advisors. This is what we're going to focus on here. Your board of advisors. Your board of directors can fire you from your own company. So you're not building a board as a small business. You are the board of directors. You and maybe your co-founder or your business partner. And if they're not a shareholders, I wouldn't even make them a board of directors as well, or a manager in your company. You keep your managers in the LLC small. Keep it just to yourself. That way, you can control the company and run it the way you see fit. If you add another manager or another board of director, they can fire you from your own company. So we're not talking about that today. I'm going to focus on about how do you build a board of advisors, and it's the same type of people you will need, but we're just focused on board of advisors. So your board of advisors, they give you advice, whereas your board of directors, they direct the direction of the company. So your advisors will say, this is my advice on this topic, or this is my advice of how to raise money. This is my advice of how you can break into this agency. This is my advice about this type of service, this offering. So who are you looking for? And so let me talk about the type of people that you're going to look for in this series. So let me zoom down. These are the qualities that you're looking for in your board of advisors. First thing, you want someone that have relationships, someone who's well connected, someone who knows a lot of other people. That's somebody that you should consider adding to your board of advisors. You're limited to how many relationships you can have. By adding a board of advisor, you can actually reach their network through your relationship with them. And so relationship is very important. And I'll talk about practical examples of how someone was able to leverage this here into a very key important meetings that they needed to have. And then the second type of people you want to have is somebody who have money. Now, some of you know a lot of people with money, and some of your friends are all broke and they don't have money. And some of you have a few friends that have money, but most of your friends don't have money. It doesn't matter where you are. When you're considering someone to add as a board of advisor member, you want somebody who would have money. And I'll share with you how you go about building this relationship in a second. I'm telling you what you should look for first, then we'll talk about how to add someone as a board of advisor. And then somebody with money, meaning somebody who's an entrepreneur, maybe they've sold a company, someone who just independently wealthy, somebody who won the lottery. Vicky, I don't know if you know, but last week, a Laotian person won the big jackpot of $1.3 billion. Someone from Laos, born in Laos, immigrated to U.S. out of Washington, I think out of Oregon. He won the $1.3 billion. So somebody who's independently wealthy, somebody they come from money, or somebody who's been successful in life and they just have money. Now, you're not asking for their money. You need someone with money. And I'll tell you again, I'll tell you how to approach these people, how to build a relationship in a second. So that's the second type. Then you also want to look for somebody who have expertise. Expertise in things that you don't have. So for example, many of you don't like proposal writing. Well, find someone that's an expert in writing. If you're not good with financials and not good with accounting and money, find an advisor who maybe go to your tax preparer, go to your accountant and say, hey, I'm growing my company and can you be of an advisor to my company? So you want somebody to have expertise that you don't have, or that will complement your set of skill set as well. So that's the third type. And there's really a fourth type. I didn't put it in here, but for many of you, especially if you're a solopreneur, the fourth type is somebody who have time. Somebody that can be an advisor that will give you time. Like somebody who's an expert, they're busy. They're not always going to give you time. Someone that have money, they're busy people. They're not always going to give you time. Somebody who have a lot of relationship, they're busy people. So the fourth type is somebody who have time, even though it's not in my notes here, but someone who have time that can really come and help you in terms of this process here. So how do you go about building your board of advisors? I categorize it as cold, warm, or hot. If it's a cold relationship, meaning that someone that you haven't seen in 10 years, don't call them up and say, hey, I'm building my company. Can you be on my board of advisors? That's not how you go about it. A co-relationship is somebody you might know from church, someone you might know from if you're a soccer mom or a soccer dad, you might know from the sports with your kids. If you play golf, it's somebody you might know, that you go golfing with. And so you start off with your immediate relationships that you have. And some of those relationships, you just kind of know them casually. So I won't even consider that a warm relationship. I consider that a cold relationship. You know of them, or you haven't talked to them in a long time, or you might know them from some groups that you're part of. So that's a cold relationship. How do you turn that cold relationship into a warm relationship? This is my suggestion in terms of practically how you approach that. If it's someone you haven't talked to in 5 years, you send them an email or you make a phone call and say, hey, we haven't talked in a long time. I just want to catch up with you. So whenever you talk to them, you will not ask them to be on your board of advisor on that first call. You're just catching up. And you don't like it when people really want something from you and then they call you talking about something else, but they really want something else. That's not good practice, right? Call them and just really catch up. That's it. That's all you're doing on this first conversation. Reach out to them, catch up, say, hey, how's the kids? How's the wife? How's the husband? How's your job coming? And last time we talked, you were on vacation. How did that trip ended up? And when you're going to take another vacation? And hey, maybe next time you go on vacation, let's see if we could hang out together, go on vacation together. So just get caught up. That's the first thing you do. And this is somebody you know or know of. So you're warming up the relationship. The second, after that meeting, what you want to do is you want to take notes, right? If they talk about their kids is getting ready to go to college and they're working on scholarship, follow up with them and say, hey, I found out about this scholarship. I want to send it to you to see if you or your kids might be interested in the scholarship. That's how you reconnect and you warm up the relationship. And then maybe 3 weeks later, after you nurturing that relationship a little bit, 3 weeks later, you say, hey, you know what? You remember when we met, I told you I was growing my company in the government market. Can I meet with you for 30 minutes, either by Zoom or by in person, if it's local, in person, and so that I like to get you your advice on some things. And so meet up with them, and then ask one or two questions. And when you're meeting with them, ask some questions. Hey, you have expertise in accounting, and I'm building up my infrastructure. And what software do you recommend? And do you have anybody that's an accountant or a bookkeeper that you can recommend to me? Ask them for some advice. If they're willing to give you advice early on like this, their potential to be a good advisor down the road. So you ask them, warm up the relationship again. And then maybe by the third time you really engage them, then you say, hey, you know what? Really appreciate, the suggestions you gave me. I decided to go with a different bookkeeper from someone that you recommend, or I went with the bookkeeper that you recommended to me. And thank you for that. And then you can say, I'm growing my company and I'm looking to build a board of advisors. And it would be a great honor if you would consider to be on my board of advisors. So that's really how the process of how you go about it. The multiple meetings, don't freak them out. And it's kind of like, it's for some of you who are single, right? You don't meet someone for the first time and say, hey, do you want to go on a date with me? Right? It's weird and it's too fast. So it's relationship building. You have to invest in those relationships. And it's the same process. And sometimes you may not, you may not like them, right? That's why you have multiple engagement with them to see if they will be valuable to you as part of your board of advisors. So that's one way. Now, if it's a completely stranger, you do almost the same thing, but you adjust a little bit. So if it's a total stranger that you may know of, or you know of them, but you don't know them, the way you would approach a total stranger is this here. Hey, I've noticed that you're really you've been really successful in your career, and I just like to get to know more people that's in your field. And can I buy you coffee? I don't recommend buying lunch or dinner, and the reason is dinner is very expensive, right? With inflation, dinner, you take someone out to dinner. Now, some of you don't have a budget. You just write checks, and you have an unlimited American Express Black Card. Take them to dinner. But for many of you, your budget is limited, so offer coffee instead. If someone's local, offer them coffee, because coffee is $5. Dinner, minimum $50, right? So, so I'm giving you good advice here. So coffee, and if they say, yeah, I love to, then go to coffee, or you offer them a virtual coffee meetings, right? Virtual coffee meeting, it's a Zoom meeting, or a Google Meet, or any of the online tools. So you meet with them, get to know them, and then go through the same process, right? Get to know them over 2 or 3 meetings, and then if you think they're a good fit, then ask them. Once you ask them and they say yes, here's the next step. These individual will say, so what does it mean to be on your board of advisors? First thing is, you want to clarify that this is not a board of directors. This is a board of advisors. And so there's no legal obligation, no fiduciary responsibility. Think of it as you being a mentor to me. As a board of advisor, we meet once a year, or you might say we meet twice a year, or I don't recommend meeting weekly because they're too busy. So meeting once or twice a year, formally meeting once or twice a year is fine. Or you don't even have to meet in a formal meeting. You can just say, as a board of advisor, you're like a mentor to me. And so if I get stuck on things, and as I'm growing my company and I get stuck on some things that I think that you may have expertise, I'll just pick up the phone, or I'll send you an email and just ask you for your advice. And that's really it. It's very simple. And And then they say, well, is there an agreement, or do you pay for, do you pay your board of advisor? The answer is no, you don't pay your advisors because you're a small business. Now, if it's somebody that have a lot of time and they're going to come and really be active with you in your business, you can give them equity in your company. And your board of advisors, it's anywhere, if they're going to be super active, if they're minimally active, it's anywhere from 1% to 9%. If they're super active, 9%. If they're not super active, 1 to 3%. But that means that they have time, they're going to be active. If it's just someone who's going to mentor you and you're going to ask them a question once in a blue moon, you do not need to pay them. Even if they ask for it, just tell them we're not in a place to give out equity at this time. I still love for you to be an advisor, but maybe in the future we will consider that. You do not need to give out equity for someone who's going to just minimally give you advice. Now, again, if they're going to be active, consider that. Now, should you offer your advisor equity, do not give them equity up front. You guys catch that? If you're going to give them equity, don't give them equity up front. And in fact, I'm going to make some notes in here. Let me pull up a sheet so that I can make some notes in terms of how to go about offering equity to your advisors. So let me zoom in so I can make bigger notes. So advisor equity. So this is the way I would structure it. You will structure it on a vesting schedule. Anybody know what vesting schedule is? Some of you who's joining us. Vicky, you familiar with the vesting schedule?
No.
All right, so this is very important. So for example, let's assume you have somebody that you really want that is going to bring a lot of value. Okay, so some of you said yes, you are. Some of you said no. Okay, so this is very important. And this is important whether it's a advisor that you're going to give equity to or a business partner that you're going to give equity to. Because you've been building your company and you're at a point where you want to grow and you're bringing on some advisors or some a potential business partner down the road. This is how you want to structure it. So it's a 12-month cliff. I'll explain this in one second. I'm making notes so that you guys can see it. And so as I'm explaining it to you, you have a visual of what this is all about. And then so let me explain to you what this means here. So in a vesting schedule means this here, that let's assume that Vicky, you decide that you're going to bring an advisor and you're going to offer that advisor, I'm going to use an example here. You're going to offer the advisor 9% equity. And this person is going to be active in your business. They're not going to be an employee. They're not going to work for you, but they're going to be active. They're going to meet with you every single week. They're going to give you suggestions. They're going to give you guidance. And they're going to meet with you 1 hour every week to maybe they're an expert in a certain field. So you're going to offer 9% offer of equity to this person here. So we're going to go with a 3-year vesting schedule. So the way you do this here is we start out with a 12-month first. So I'm going to move this here up here. So 12-month cliff means that this person has to so that's really what that means. They're going to, yes, Jason says, almost like a handcuff. Yes, absolutely. 12-month cliff is a handcuff. That means that they have to give you advice and support you for 12 months before they earned any equity. After they're with you for 12 months, so it's they earn 3% equity. because they're with you, because you're giving them 9%. You're going to do a, let's take out the 4 here. You're going to do a 3-year vesting. So they're with you for 12 months, they get 3%. And then for the remaining 2 years, in this situation, it will be 2 years remaining. So every month, what you want to do is you want to take the remaining amount. So I'm going to bring up my calculator here. So I'm going to take 6%. I'm going to divide that by 24 months. So every month they earn 0.25. So it will be 0.25%, 0.25% each month. And you don't give them every month, give them 0.25, but they're vested. They're vested. It's vested every month. So if they leave at after, let's assume that if they leave in month 14, right? They're with you for 14 months. So in this situation, they get the 3% plus 0.5%, half of 1%, because they're with you for actually 0.2. Let me double check my calculator because that's too much. 0.0025. Yeah, my math is off. 0.0025. So they actually earn 0.005%. So not quite even. So they're with you for now. So if they leave after month 14, let's assume they leave after 18 months, right? So they're with you for 18 months. So that means they get 3% plus, let's go to a calculator. So 0.0025 times 4 months. So they get 1/10 of 1%. Oh, no. Let's, yeah. So it's 3% divided by 12 months. So it's 0.00. No, it's 0.25. Yeah. So that is correct. Let me double check here. You're giving them 3% every year. So we take that divided by 12 months. So it's 0.25. Yeah, so my math was correct the first time. My bad. And then if they're with you for 6 months, they actually get 1.5%. So when they leave, they actually they leave with 4.5%. Now, when they leave and they're not active with you anymore, they become a silent partner. And they're not an advisor. Now, if it's a business partner and they leave after 18 months, they become a silent partner. They're not active with you in the business. If it's an advisor, they're just a shareholder. They're not even a business partner. They're just a shareholder. So this is how you protect yourself. Yes, you offer them 9%, but you're not giving them 9% upfront. They have the equity is available for them, but they have to earn it by being with you over 12 months, over the next few years. I had a business partner for my company, and she was with me for 11 months and 26 days. And she came to me, she said, "Abe, you know what? I want to do something different, and I'm going to leave our partnership." And I said, "Are you sure you're not quite 12 months yet?" Because, we're leaving in good terms, right? And now if we're leaving on bad terms, I would just be, shh, don't say anything, right? But we're leaving on good terms. And I said, you only got a few days left before you're vested. We've been together, this 11 months. So, you sure you don't want to stay? She said, "No. I feel like, since I'm not going to be with you for the long term, I'll just, leave the equity and you can save for other people." So it was a very good, mutual, friendly departure. But if someone's hostile and they're leaving, don't, let them leave, right? Don't tell them, "Hey, you're almost vested 12 months. Let them go." Any questions about this, sir? If you have questions about how to set up your board of advisors or business partner, the vesting schedule is true for business partners also. Any question, Vicky? Any questions on this, sir, in terms of how to, how to set this up for your advisors?
Nope, but I'll take the notes.
Yeah, this will protect you and protect your company from someone that comes in and they start off strong, right? They start off strong, and 6 months into it, they're total not worth it, and so you're giving up zero equity. And when they come in, you're not going to blindside, but this is very open at the very beginning. You want them to come and let them know that there's 12-month cliff so that they're in here for the long term. You let them know that it's a 3-year vesting schedule or 4 year. For tech companies, technology companies, it's typically 4 years, a total of 4 years vesting, 12 months plus three additional years. But for most service company, 3 years is good enough. And so, okay, so that's how you build a board of advisors. So once you have your board of advisor, let me show you what you need to do next. You want to come in. So this is a company that went through this process that I shared with you guys here. She's a solopreneur when I met her. Company's called Motivate. Now she's winning millions in government contracts. When she started, she was a mom and pop business working from her home. And but as a solopreneur, she didn't have the, she wanted her company to look bigger than she really is. So she come in here, she put her leadership team. She actually asked me to be on her advisory board. I say yes. Right now, I'm on too many advisory boards, so unfortunately, I can't sit on any more advisory board. But this is a little bit earlier when I was coaching her a few years back. And then she asked Paula Washington. She is, someone who's very experienced, and she understands, she's a financial person. She's, very lots of different places. And then Robert Ando, he is the director of a SBDC. So she added these 3 people, right? Makes her company look stronger. She's going off of the credibility of these people as much as her own credibility. So that's how you make your company look like you can handle $1 million contract. These are not employees. You're not paying them. You may give them equity, but again, most of the time you don't want to give equity unless they have time to help you. If they're just going to give you advice once in a blue moon, you don't need to give up equity. Most successful people, they want to help you. They want to give back, and then let them know, see if they're okay with you adding them to the website, and on their LinkedIn profile, they can say that they're an advisor to your company if they want to add it to your LinkedIn profile, because it helps them in their career path. If they're looking to make themselves like they do more work in the community, they can add your company as an advisor to your company as well. With that said, we are at the time to wrap up a little bit here. So I'm going to open up for any of you who are joining us to see if you have any questions about what we covered or any other question that is related to your business. So if you are a business trying to get to the government market, let me know whatever questions you have. We'll take a few minutes to answer questions that you have, and then we will wrap up today's podcast here. So any questions from anybody? While we're waiting for questions, Vicky, you have any questions about what we cover or anything else on your business?
Not at the moment. I do see in the comments that there are some individuals that did have questions, so I'll let you answer their questions.
Okay. So I think let me put this up. Let me minimize this here so that I can see. All right. So the question is, will advisors act in sole advisory role pro bono? Yes. These are advisors that They want to give back. They've achieved certain level of success, whether professionally in the workforce or in as an entrepreneur or investment or in life, and they just want to give back. That's how they give back. Successful people, they understand that they didn't get there by themselves. This is a very important principle. Successful people know that they didn't get there by themselves. They want to give back how other people have poured into them. And so if you ask in the proper way, you go through the method that I share with you, most advisors will help you and be on your board of advisor and will not ask for anything back. They just want to help. So let's see here. Let's take another question. I have an event and I have to head out. Oh, okay. So they're just saying they're leaving. But thanks for joining us, Effie. Who is the best service provider for a website? You said GoDaddy wasn't your favorite. Yes. Let's take a second. Let's talk about my recommendation for how do you build a government-friendly website. So let me go here, share my screen. So my recommendation, there's lots of resources out there. So I'm going to show you, if you're going to build it yourself, this is how you would do it. I recommend using Wix. Wix is probably for those of you who are not, you don't understand code, you're not good at technology. This is probably the most friendly way of how you build a website. So you kind of Wix, and you just say, okay, what type of, what type of website do I need? They have hundreds, almost 1,000 templates in here. And so you just come in here and you can actually get started for free, right? So you look at some templates here. You say, oh, I'm a construction company. I like this here. So you click on this and it's already nice, right? So now all you have to do is just change out some verbiage and maybe change out some pictures and a few things, and you're ready to go. Very quick. 5 tabs, right? Home, services, about, projects, contact. In this situation, you change projects. In the commercial market, we call it project, we call it case study, we call it clients, we call it portfolio. In the government market, we call it your government tab, or you call it past performance. So this is an example. So let me show you a company that uses template. Uh-oh, the website's down. Oh, they need to get their website back up. But they use the template here, and it's look very similar to this here. And then you click edit the site, and then you just start editing. It's a very easy way to build your website. Now if you, so this is I don't recommend WordPress. WordPress is too complex for most of you. Squarespace is fine too, but it's a little bit more complex than Wix. There's webs.com. There's lots of other resources, but in terms of my #1 recommendation is Wix. I built multiple websites on Wix to help people. I built it for my own organizations and so forth. But this is a great place. I mean, nice and ready to go, right? Just come and change out a few things here. So the other, if you want to have some support, but you want it to be affordable, there is a service called capabilitywebsites.com. I'll put it in the chat area. So Capability Website, this is a service designed specifically for government contractors. So they come here, they will build it out for you and help you get it going. So you come in here, you said, okay, so you go to the design. Now they build it on WordPress. So it's a little bit more robust. It has more capabilities than Wix will have. And it's more designed for when you're ready to, it's more, it has infrastructure for growth better than Wix. If you're starting out, Wix is the easiest, but if you want future growth and you're thinking about that, WordPress has more capabilities. So if you come in here, you say, okay, I do training and consulting. So you click on this here. So this is a website, nice and pretty. you put your company name here. All these tabs are ready to go already, and then you work with them to just change out some of these things here, right? So these are some affordable, very more user friendly to get started in your business. Um, all right, so with that, we are at the time here. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and we'll wrap it up here in 1 second here. So uh, your business has the potential to go from where you are to millions and millions of dollars in the government market. There's a few great equalizers in life. Be born with it, with money from generational wealth. That's not most of you. Hit the lottery like the person that won the $1.2 billion lottery jackpot last week. That's another way. Or start a technology company, an IT company, a software company, or something like that. But those are a lot tougher and most likely one in billions and billions. Being a government contractor is the other great equalizer in life in terms of how do you go from where you are 3 years later running $1 million company. You can do that in the government contracting space. That's really what this podcast is about. How do you build a company? We're going to take you step by step. Really appreciate all of you joining us. Continue. You will be successful in the government market. The only people that don't succeed are those that quit along the way. Vicky's committed to this process. In fact, we're going to be bidding on a project together. GCA, we normally don't bid on projects because we're here to support the business community. But there is a project that is designed for teaming or designed to support business in the government market. And so Vicky's company and our company is going to team together to go bid on that project. So Vicky, you have a instant proposal writer in us. That's what teaming does, right? The expertise of your partners, they lend that, and you have those expertise. So we'll be working on that project together. It's going to be. We'll probably share, as we start to work on it, we'll share that journey with you also, so that you guys can kind of see what Vicky's working on, the project that we're working and we're going to be bidding on. We'll share with you that process so you guys can kind of learn with us in this journey here. But with that said, you are one contract away. Keep going, and we will see you next Wednesday, 11:30 to 12:30 Eastern Time. Have a good one, everyone. Take care.
Bye.